And we're back with our golden and blue tiger's eye. This has been in coarse. Oh no, I'm sorry. This has moved forward to medium. This was in 120, 220 medium grit for 1 week. Oh my. Doesn't this feel lovely? Look at how beautiful. Just gorgeous. No, this is medium for 1 week. We're drying it off so we can pick up any of the slightest bit of imperfection. This can move forward to our fine grit of 500, which would be the next step. Okay. Well, there's a little spot there, which means it would have to go back to, see, medium grit is just going to smooth the surfaces. It's not going to shape or grind. So if we wanted to grind that out, it would have to go back to 60-90. I think we're just going to leave that particular one. Wow, these are so cool. I think this needs another week in medium. Okay, stays in medium. If we go right, it stays in medium. If we go left, it goes forward to the next level of grit. Really does feel perfect. Can't feel those lines. Wow. What a cool pattern. I've been watching this. It's really lovely. I'm not happy with that though. Ooh. How gorgeous. And that's dry. Look at this baby wet. Just that one mark and it catches. Look at the pattern. This is just really super cool. Here's a blue one. Super cool. Oh, this one needs more work. This one should probably go back to rough. Or it could be an optical illusion. Oh, isn't that cool? It's a really neat stone. Sorry, I didn't realize how quiet I had gotten. I was just mesmerized by these patterns. So beautiful. Golden tiger's eye and blue tiger's eye. Wow. So awesome. And again, this is dry. You know, it's drying quickly. Oh, that needs to go back. And a couple that need to go back. And what do we always say? If we move it forward and it doesn't do what we want it to do, it goes back a stage. Why go through all this time and rush it and not get a perfect result? Okay, let's take a look at this baby wet. See what we get. It's the bottom. There's our blue side. It's got some yellow coming through. That is super cool. And the top. Bottom, top. Really neat. Wow. We're doing pretty good here so far. I'd say about 70% of this batch is ready to move forward to the next level of or the first level of fine grit. And about 30% staying back. Oh, look at that. That's a grit catcher. I would actually send that back to Quartz to see if we could knock that out. It's easier to see the imperfections when it's dry. It's just so darn pretty when it's wet. Especially since when it's wet, this is hopefully the look we're going to have when it's polished. Sometimes a stone can be perfect moving into the next stage. And then when you check it, it's like, wait a minute, why is there a problem? And it's because it got knocked around with the other stones and a weak part either came out and pitted, fracture line was, brought forward. Things can happen. That's why you never bank on it. You got to inspect each stone, not just a sample, but each stone. See, like that is going back all the way to rough, just to get that out. Now, it won't be a long time in rough, a week or less. Oof. Super cool. Oh, let's see. What were we doing with this one? Were we just going to let that go? Oh, I'm not willing to let it go this week. See, we're not finding any chips so far, so that's darn good news. Stones are reacting well to the medium grit. The surface is getting really smooth. I think I could do another medium. Could be just a little smoother. Like this one could be a little smoother. And our little tiny baby stone is ready to go forward. Okay. Whoops. Trying to catch that piece of media, and I caught the camera instead. So, ready to move forward. Stay in medium. And go back to coarse. Now, I have a whole batch of red tiger's eye rough. So these can run with those. I'm going to actually put those in that container, so when it goes to actually be tumbled, we'll have those in there. So we won't see these again for a long time. This is not enough to run a whole medium batch. So we're going to have to figure out, or just set these aside and hold them and maybe not see them for a little while. Until the rest catches up. And this we're definitely setting aside before it goes into 500 grit pre-polish, because we want to run a full batch. So sometimes you split a batch and split a batch and split a batch to where there's nothing left to run for the following week. So decisions have to be made. Alrighty. So we will set this aside and probably see if we're going to start with the red tiger's eye, so we can get everything to run together. That's probably what's going to happen, but we're going to think about it, and we'll let you know what we do. All right, we'll be right back with our Amethyst, Clear Quartz, and Peach Aventurine. All right, we are back with our Clear Quartz, Peach Aventurine, and our Amethyst barrel. All these are of the same MOHS hardness 7, so they can be run together safely. So as we're running these batches down, this is the 6090 grit. It's been running since September 19th. 5 weeks in 6090. And this is what's left. And we can see this still needs more shaping. So we're going to put this one back in the barrel for another week. Now, while this is really frosted, as it goes through the finer grits, it should clear up a little bit, I hope. We're going to find out, because this is an adventure. All right, this still has a little bit of work that needs to be done. Not much, though. That's really super close. Wow. Other than the bottom, this one's ready to go. But it's going back in for another week. This one has a little bit of work that needs to be done. Okay, so all the clear quartz needs to go back in for one more week. Let's go to the Peach Aventurine. How is it moving? All right, so we've got this clear quartz that we had pulled up. It was ready. It's got nothing to join in this week. So we'll put that away. This is all of our peach aventurine that's ready for medium. Let's see what we can add to it this week. This has so many fracture lines. And you can feel them all. This still needs another week. In coarse grit. Huh. Isn't that amazing? Peach aventurine. I'm going to try and get this bruising fixed. We'll see. May or may not happen. Again with the bruising. Yeah, I think it's just going to be the same as the quartz. It just needs one more week. Oh, that one's pale. Yep. So it looks like it's got grit and slurry still in it. And still going back. I love the shape of this one. I just think it's really interesting. But it still needs work. So that brings us to our amethyst. So put the peach aventurine over there. It's got nothing to add. Oh, this needs so much shaping. Now these were really rough rock. And we had split some. We had cracked some. Getting better. Yeah, none of these are ready to move forward. This one's super duper close. Oh, if it wasn't for that, it'd be ready. And again, this, you can see where the chisel hit it when it split it and it kind of crushed that. I'm hoping that the rough grit, the coarse grit, will help shape it down some. Wow, this barrel is having absolutely nothing move forward. I mean, you can still see all the work that needs to be done. I mean, even this chip has a little shaping that has to happen still. And that whole corner. Yeah, it's got to get out. Okay, we have no chips. So that's very good. Just a couple pieces that bruised, but couldn't be helped. So that entire barrel is going to do another week in course. Okay, we are going to move forward to our Howlite. Be right back. Howlite. It has been running in course 6090 since September 21st. So it's been 5 full weeks. And we have added a couple of pieces. It's a softer stone. And we had some chipping that we've already taken out. So yes, we added some extra pieces to fill the barrel. So we know those are going to move forward. Or, stay in course. And it looks like it chipped some of these other ones that were almost ready. And now they're going to need another week because they got damaged. That's okay. Doesn't feel very smooth, but again, it's a softer stone. I don't see anything except that. Okay, that one we're going to move forward to medium. I think this could stay one more week. Definitely one more week. Feels really rough to the fingers, but there's no chipping. I think I'm going to move this to medium and see if medium will clean up that surface. And then this one is going to stay in coarse. And that has got some shaping that has to be done. Okay, so these two are pulling out to move with these that are ready for medium. And we'll set these aside for when the rest catch up. All this is going back into the Howlite. Oop, got a piece of fuzz. Okay. We're shaking it up to make the ceramic medium with the stone. Okay, this is going to go one more week. We're going to charge the barrel and put it back on the tumbler. And we'll be back with our Amazonite. Okay, we're back with our Amazonite, or Amazonite, whichever you prefer. And while this stone seems to be all host rock, we're going to send it to the garden. We're going to put it in with our garden and plant stones. This one has a little pyrite still. We were watching it. It's just really gotten so small that if it goes through another week, of course, I don't think there's going to be anything left of this. I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet on this and let it go to medium. This one is the one we were looking at last week that has that hole. And that goes all the way through. And we might be able to use that for a piece of jewelry. See, you can go all the way through there. So we're going to put this in medium so it doesn't get damaged further. And see if by the time we're done, if it's still good for a piece of jewelry. Ooh, nice color on this tiny chip. It's still really rough in here. But I don't think that's going to come out. I think when that comes out, that's just going to cause issues. So let's move that to medium and just pray it smooths out. This still needs a lot of work because the host rock came out and left a hole. So we'll do one more week on this one. Wow. That's janky. And might end up being a garden rock, but we're going to give it one more week. These have just come down to like next to nothing. These are so tiny. I did get another batch of Amazonite in because I wanted to run it and see if we could do better. Because this was just a really janky word of the day batch. It was just really super host rocky. Oh. So close. I think this is gonna definitely be a garden rock. I mean, I could split this and try and save this one tiny little piece. Oh, look at that. I don't even have to split it. I was able to do it with my hand. Whew. Lots of little tiny shards. So we need to put this back in to smooth this out. And then we're just going to add this beautiful tiny piece. It'll probably be good for jewelry. Nice tourmaline markings in this one. And it's ready to move forward. Let's just make that a garden rock. It's pretty enough for a garden, but not pretty enough for tumbled stones. And this is going to be the same thing. See, it's had pieces. This is the host rock that's been breaking off and causing more additional problems. And I don't really like the color of it. It could get confused for smoky quartz, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want somebody to use this and say, oh, that's smoky quartz, and then it's not. So I'm going to throw these little tiny pieces away. Now, what to do with the rest of this stone that broke off? Garden rock. There's a little tiny chip. We'll put that in with our chips. If I can find it. Amazonite. Amazonite. Where art thou? Amazonite. I know you're in here. It's Aventurine. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. So we've got this right here, which we're using for chips. You know what? Nah, I'm going to leave all of those for garden rocks. Okay. So this is all the Amazonite chips. That. I think those are just, we're really not doing well here with this batch. We've got lots of breakage because it was just the, you know, sometimes you can get a better grade of a stone, and I think this was the bottom of the pile grade. I'm just not happy with it at all. So out of the entire 2 pounds that we started with, this is all we have left to move forward. That, plus these 4 from this week. That's all we have ready to move forward to medium. We'll set that aside. And these are, which I think this is pyrite. This is all we have that needs to go for rough. So obviously that's not enough to run a barrel. So we're going to set these aside and wait until I run the other Amazonite, and we'll put it in with it. So there's a nice chip. Nice color on that chip. And the ceramic media here needs to get washed to be used with another. Yeah, I don't like the color on these chips, so I'm not going to use them in another project. But I will use this one. We're going to pull out the little chips of ceramic media, because it will scratch. A soft stone. Yeah, it's pretty cool how some stones are so soft you can break them in your hand. Alright, throw all that away. Clean all this. And these are going to become garden stones. They're just smaller than what I want to sell. And I already have really nice pieces that I work with. Oops. And I think we're just gonna, put them in the garden, in with our other plants. Okay, we will be right back with our golden quartz. And we're back with yellow quartz. It has been in 60-90 grit for 2 weeks. And it's moving along very nicely. Still has some shaping to do. But boy, aren't these some beautiful quartz pieces. And as you know, quartz is a MOHS hardness of 7. So it's pretty hard. Lots of work to do on that one side. Wow, there's some beautiful colors in here. And it really needs, I don't think there's anything we're going to pull out. It all needs another week, at least, probably 2, in our 60-90 grit. We're kind of whipping along pretty quick here because, we know it needs to go. Ooh, this one's close. Awesome. Yep, all of it needs to go. Look at that. Wow. Lots of shaping still needs to happen. A lot of rough spots still. But our golden quartz is moving along lovely. Okay. No chipping, which is amazing. And we're going to put this back in and we'll see it next week. And we are going to move to our Spiritite. Okay, that's exciting. Be right back. Ooh, we're back with our Spiritite. It's been running in 60-90 coarse grit since October 12th, so it's been 2 full weeks. And isn't it just beautiful? It's got the most beautiful colors. It's all pastels. It's really, really pretty. It feels really smooth already, like Jaspers do. Oh, it's lovely. Still has work. Still has work that has to be done. But wow. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but my goodness, how nice. We are getting lots of chips. These are just the ones I found so far. So, still chipping quite a bit. Really pretty. So this one's going to be a garden stone because we know that that's never going to come out. So there's no point other than filler for it to move forward. Really pretty. Oh, problems in this one. But we'll see. Oh, goodness. Again, issues. No, we're going to have to see what we're going to do about this. But it's only been 2 weeks. See what another couple of weeks can do for it. Wow, that's a nice piece. I think I got another couple more pounds of Spiritite as well. So we've got a lovely amount to work with. Good pattern. That is really pretty cool. And it is so close to being ready for medium. It's just a little bit on this end that I'd like to work out. Lots of broken pieces. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to be ready for medium. That almost looks like a zebra. Wow. Just beautiful. I mean, it needs a lot of work, but holy cow. It's so lovely. Always amazing how they start out so large and end up so small. I hope we can catch a lucky break and be able to move these along large. Look how pretty these pink ones are. Ouch. That's going to be a lot of problems. We're moving fairly quickly because we know it's going to need another week. 2 or 3. Pop, are you kidding? We got one that's ready for medium. Well, thank you, little tiny baby one. But that one isn't. That's good. Go to chips. There's a chip right there. Aww, he's so little. I don't know if I want to put these in with the chips. They're so tiny. I might set these aside for something else because they're big enough. I don't know. I think I'm going to do a special project with this one. I'll set them aside. Oh, I like that one. I'll be damned if it isn't ready for medium. Wow, there's a whole lot of chips on this. There's more? Okay, we are ready to put this Spiritite back in for another week. That goes to the garden cells here. Special project. Here's our Spiritite chips. Our 2 tiny pieces that are ready for medium. Okay. We will be back with our Sunstone. Alright, we are back with Sunstone. It has been in 60-90 grit for 2 weeks. And it's got some tourmaline in it. Also those black stripes. And some nice little flash. Maybe it's mica. Kind of looks like tourmaline the way that it's. I don't know. We'll see. That has some rough on that end. I think this one's ready to move forward to medium. I could use another week. I could use another week. This Sunstone is really pretty, especially on a gloomy day. Get those little flecks of sunlight. Ah, very pretty. Use just a little tiny bit more shaping. It's these corners need the work. And again, it's only been 2 weeks, so you know, can't expect them all to be perfect. I mean, we want it to be. Can't really expect it. Boy, these are like so close. So close. Wow, these really little down to next to nothing. This whole post rock is rough. Let's give it another week. I think that's ready. So we're not seeing chippage, which is fantastic, because we don't want chips. A lot of these little ones seem to be almost ready. See how we fix that. There we go. Can you see that? Well, we had it a second ago. I think that could go one more week. Wow, look at the flash on that one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say next week, all these will be ready to move forward. Okay. Doing really good. We're not seeing breakage. Of course, as soon as you say that, you find a piece. One tiny little piece of sunstone. Two tiny little pieces of stone. Three little pieces of stone. This is why you don't say you don't see it. Because as soon as you do, some pops up. Murphy's Law. Okay. These little three will go in with our other sun chips from the last 2 weeks. And then our sunstone ready for medium. Put these in here. And the rest is going to go back in the barrel for 1 more week. And we will be back with our green and coffee colored volcano stone. Okay, we are back with our volcano stone. We have both the coffee color, which is the brown, and we have green. Now this ran for 1 week in 4670 coarse grit because it needed a lot of work. And we have some chips, but it's smoothing really quickly, so we're going to be able to move forward with this to the 6070, but we're going to give it a wash first. So, I mean, these are like damn near perfect, some of these, to go straight to medium. But I really want that finer feel, so we're going to move it. I don't want to skip a grit stage. Man, I could still feel the grit on this. You see that grit? Boy, you could almost, if these weren't so soft, you could confuse these for Kambaba Jasper. But it's just greenstone. It's really pretty. There's a lot more pattern in it than I thought there'd be. This one's never going to do anything. It's too pitted. We're going to make that a garden stone. See, we're learning how to separate things out. Wow. Look at that. That is just full of broken stone. Isn't that interesting? Let's see if I can flush that out. See how much grit and stuff was in there? Wow, and it's breaking further. Hold on. We got fun stuff to play with. Let's get out the dental pick. Look at this. The water has it sticking. Let's see if we can flush it some more. That slurry that got stuck in there. think this is what came out of it. See how soft it is? The dental pick is just destroying it. Wow. This little baby might just be heading for the garden. Very curious to see what's going to happen. Well, we'll see. I think I'm off camera. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a soft stone. Yep, these are going to get a wash cycle, or 2 or 3. And we are going to move them to the 6090 grit. And see what we can do. I don't think it's going to take all that long in 6090, to be honest. I think it's going to move forward pretty quickly. Never heard of the Volcano stone before. Trying to look it up, and I think it's a trade name. Because I'm not finding a MOHS hardness on this, so I'm going to have to do it myself. And I have the tools. I just have to do it. Okay. It's really an interesting stone. It's kind of pretty. It's more brown than red. Yeah. I'm going to do more research. It was just one of those, you know, you saw it on the wholesaler site and said, oh, that looks interesting, let's try it. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying it. Volcano will be washed. It will go to 6090 because it's just been in 1 week of 4670, which did a great job, by the way, of getting it ready. And then we just have these little bitty chips and this one stone that's just going to have to go to the garden. All right. We've got a couple of barrels that are pretty low that we're going to have to jiggle around and see what happens. We might actually start something new today. Not really sure. We might just have an empty barrel or two. And I'll wait for next week. Okay. We will see you soon. Please hit the subscribe button and hit us up on a like so our channel can get more airtime. Alrighty. Thank you for participating, and thank you for your comments that you leave every week. And if there's something in particular you'd like to see tumbled, drop me a note in the comments, and if I've got it, I'll run it. If I get enough requests, I will purchase it and run it. Okay, we will see you soon. Have a fantastic week. All right, we ended up, after moving everything around and putting a couple of things on hold, we're starting a new barrel. And it's going to be chrysoprase. So this is it wet. already. So we're going to have some stones left over. We've got about 1.5 pounds in our 3-pound barrel, and because of these sizes, we wanted to leave it enough room to tumble. So this is what's left over. Oh, about 3/4 pound. So we've got a couple of chips here after we cleaned it off. We're getting it ready. We're going to start it in 60-90 grit and chrysoprase. That's what we're starting now. Alrighty. So we did get to start something new, and that's always fun. And we'll see you next week. Woohoo!